we are going to be using the Gilded Autumn bundle. That is my new online class for August. And we're also using some of the Designer Series paper. Where did I put those? So the Gilded Autumn Designer Series paper, let me just pull my cheat sheets out here again. And shameless plug, I still have like 3 or 4 of these packets left. So if you want one, you can get one. So here's the Gilded Autumn Specialty Designer Series paper. Each paper, one of the sides has foil accents to it. So look at that. They are so pretty. They're either gold or copper or a combination of both. And then here are your coordinating colors: Cajun Craze, Copper Foil, Crumb Cake, Early Espresso, Gold Foil, Mint Macaron, and Very Vanilla. Okay. Ooh, Carol says she has cataracts too. I've got one that is getting really, really bad, and I keep putting it off. I've literally been putting it off for probably a year. And I really need to get it taken care of. But with the coronavirus, it's like everything is just so much more difficult, you know, to get anything done. I don't know if this is like considered an elective surgery. But I've heard that cataracts could be considered elective surgery. Well, I'm not really electing to not see, so I'm hoping that's not true. Anyway, I have a few more cards to share with you using this bundle of products. Here is one with the paper and some of the little leaves and a few of the champagne rhinestones. Another one here where we've got the paper put on the crumb cake layer and then embossed. Can you guys see that? So the paper is also embossed. Really cool. A few little leaves there. Here's one that uses the little trinkets, super cute, and of course the ribbon, and then some of the Designer Series paper. So some of you who watch me are obviously demonstrators, and some of you may be what we call orphan demonstrators. I just showed you the card. Well, you just got a sneak peek. Some of you may be orphan demonstrators, and what that means is that you had an upline. Obviously, when you signed up to be a demonstrator, you sign up under someone, and then you become part of their team. Well, if they quit, then you become what's considered an orphan. So you don't have an upline anymore. And so I no longer have an upline. In fact, I haven't had one for the entire basically 17 years I've been a demonstrator. I've been on my own. Well, a number of years ago, Stampin' Up! Did some restructuring, and I am now, Stampin' Up! Is my upline. So I'm no longer an orphan. But because Stampin' Up! Is my upline, every other month, we have a group that I'm a part of called Blended Stampers on Facebook, and we have a meeting every other month, and we usually do something called mystery stamping. So one of the gals posted the components that we needed for the card, and then during the meeting, she will say, okay, get your supplies out, which was an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of cardstock, what is this, 3 1/4 by 4 3/4, 3.5. 3.5 by 4 3/4 inch piece of Designer Series paper. So you pick whatever paper you want. A coordinating piece of paper that is, hers was 1 1/4 by 4 1/4, but I had a strip here that was 1 by 4 1/4, so I'm using that. It's copper foil. And then I think it's 2.5 by 3 3/4 inch of vanilla or white, whatever coordinates with your projects, stamps, ink, and some embellishments. Fine. So then she says, okay, take your card base, fold it in half. So we take our card base and we fold it in half. Like so. Okay. And then she said, take your little piece of cardstock, your little piece of paper, and get your stamps out and do some stamping on it. And so she recommended us putting our sentiment at the bottom and then our other stamps up near the top. So fine. Oh, they're already out and on blocks. Duh. So then we take the stamp and the sentiment stamp, and I'm going to use, what's this one say? Life is better with you. So let's use that. So we're going to stamp this near the bottom as she recommended. And it was actually kind of fun, you know, so she'd give you a few seconds to complete the task. And then, you know, everyone says, okay, we're ready for the next step. And then she would continue on. So this step was, of course, put your sentiment down and then add your other stamps. And so in my case, I'm using this leaf stamp from the Gilded Autumn. Got to get myself ready to get my online class going here, you know. Okay, so we're going to just stamp that, and we're going to come in and stamp it again, and maybe come down a bit farther this time. Oh, gosh. I'm not even going to try to fix that. We're just starting over. Not even going to try to fix that. Okay. It's a do-over, because Stampin' Up! Sells this amazing paper, you guys, that has 2 sides. What the heck? Oh, I know what it is. because I'm being a ding dong and I'm not using my foam mat. Oh, now I just got ink on the back of that. Boy, it is always just a show, isn't it, when I'm stamping? I tell you what. If nothing else, like I've said a million times, you find out what you don't do when you come and watch me. Okay, we're going to try this. I may have to stick my head in here or pull this closer to my eyeballs and see if I can. Otherwise, we're just going to have to say to heck with it and get a new piece of paper because I can't have that. Oh my gosh, look at that, you guys. That's pretty good. We're going to leave it. We're going to go with it. Okay, so now we're going to use firm but gentle pressure to get all these leaves on here like they should have been in the first place. Right there and right there. Okay, the stamp set also comes with this other little stamp that fills in the leaves, and so I'm going to stamp it off one time and then come over the top and stamp it. And it actually lines up pretty easily, I found, which, you know, not every two-step stamp lines up easily or nicely, but this one I find it really does. It's not difficult at all, I don't think, to line it up, even when you don't stamp it properly the first time. Okay, so there we have that. Cute. So then I would put my designer series paper on. Oh, what's that? Ugh. So many things are going wrong right now. I just can't. Okay, so we're going to add some seal adhesive to our designer series paper. I just realized I had a tiny bit of mint macaron ink on that, so that doesn't make me very happy. Okay, so now let's see. Carol, help me out here. Is it straight? I think it's straight. We'll just kind of lightly tack it down in case Carol says, no, it's not straight at all. Okay, then our foil piece. So she said, okay, then put your designer series paper on, put your strip on, and, you know, you kind of assume where things might go because we don't have any idea what her card looks like. So you're just kind of guessing. Well, I'll show you my other one. Well, I just kind of show it to you. Cheryl says yes. Okay, thank you, Cheryl. We're going to try to put this in the middle. Oh, I need to stop. Is that... In addition to having a cataract, my glasses are not the greatest for, you know, that distance between you sitting in a chair and a computer? Was that mid distance or something like that? Yeah, I can't see. Okay, so there's our next layer. So then she says, okay, take your stamped piece and tie your ribbon around it. And she says, and I recommend tying the ribbon around just above your sentiment. So, okay, fine. We are going to do a cheater way of tying a ribbon because I like my ribbons to be nice and tight. I don't like no floppy bows and knots on my cards. So this is a cheater way. Take something that's round, like a bottle of Stampin' Mist, or this happens to be some Stays-On cleaner, whatever you have that's small and round-ish. Even liquid glue would probably work. And then I like to tie my bows and knots around this. And this stuff is a bit stiff, so it's actually not too awful to work with. Except that made it look like it was awful to work with. I tell you, it's really not. Except when you're live on camera, everything's terrible to work with. Okay. Stop giggling, Barb. Pay attention to what you're doing. All right, so we're gonna do that, make it a knot, make it nice, slide it off. Okay, and then we're going to snip that end, and we're going to snip this end. And then I'm going to figure out where do I want my knot. I'm going to want it fairly close to the end, so I'm just going to snip just a tiny bit that side of the knot. And you know me, I'm a Scotch tape girl. Some people use adhesive. I just don't want to mess with that. I am a Scotch tape girl. So we are going to, I probably could have given myself a tad bit more to work with. Not gonna lie. Wait a minute. This is the good side. Jeez. All of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute. There is not such good stamping on the other side. Okay. Scotch tape, check. Dimensionals, check. The two that came off randomly on the last card that we didn't need. This time I think we'll go with 5 again. Hopefully we can make it so it actually isn't crooked. Get off there. Okay, have I been missing? It would be a circus if I did lives. Carol, you should, because clearly it's a gigantic circus for me and no one cares. Okay, so then she says, put your sentiment piece on there. Oh, but you want to put it centered. So here we go. Oh, I got a bad feeling about this. Is it? And I'm not happy about this little spot right here of mint macaron ink. Where in the world did that come from? We're going to try this little sand eraser trick. And we're going to see if we can at least make it not quite so dark. It works on a Whisper White. It should work on vanilla too, because our cardstocks are, you know, a solid color all the way through. So it should work. But it's not. We're going to calm down and go with it. Okay, then she said, get your embellishments out and add some embellishments. Okay, fine. So I picked, of course, you know, the champagne rhinestones because they kind of match my theme of copper here. And so then I just kind of randomly threw some on there because I didn't know what we were doing. Oh, I didn't even get one. Okay. So this is how her card was set up. She had it in the portrait mode. She had the designer series paper, then the other piece, and then this on the front. Well, because you have no idea what you're doing, you have no idea what the person's card looks like that's giving you all the clues. This is how I made mine. Because I had originally cut my designer series paper to go horizontally. So when she said, you know, put your paper on in the portrait mode, I was like, I can't, because then my leaves like growing off to the side and that would look kind of silly. So I went ahead and just worked. I just did it anyway. And I just randomly made a card. And so I think it turned out pretty good. So anyways, here's what the card was, I guess what she designed it to look like. There's no right and wrong in the mystery stamping. It's just, it's always really funny. I find, because we've done this 3 times now and my card is never, you know, the way that the original person does their card. So it's just a really fun thing to do. And I think I kind of want to do that with my team. I have a team page, a team Facebook page, and I think that it would be really fun to do something like this for them. So I just may do that. If you girls, Kathy and Barbara, are still there watching, we just might do this. Or maybe I'll do it on my VIP page for you girls like Pam and Lisa. And did I see anybody else on here that I know is on my VIP page? Chris, I think, is on there too. So anyways, yeah, we just may do that. So let's move on to our last card. This